Tell us about Zuma.
Yeah, Zuma. Mr. President, President Zuma of South Africa is one person that is very important at this time while he's still in power. But it's very funny that you have to read the newspapers. And from the newspapers where the Western diplomats, criticizing President Zuma on his policies, especially on the issue of Dalai Lama. Look, this is independent, the sovereign country. And he's the president. Zuma cannot go to Europe or to Greece or to Britain, cannot go to any other country or go to America and say, no, I criticize you guys because you're doing this, because you're doing that. Now, who gives the right of the diplomats in this country, the foreign diplomats, that now they have a right to criticize the president when the president doesn't do that to their own country? These diplomats, Western diplomats, have been writing reports, and they keep writing reports on the president, they keep writing reports on the Malema, Julius Malema, collecting reports, which is very important information, and it is very important information to the Western world. One thing that strikes me most is, why is it the diplomats of South African country does not write also reports that can help this country to go further and to develop this country? Sometimes we do understand that some diplomats from this country, those ones that are in China, in all other countries, the South African diplomats, they write reports. And those reports are heard first by European countries. They first have to go to Europe, they first have to go to America, then they have to come to South Africa. You see, it's something that you cannot understand why our information comes first in bare. Everybody else can see, everybody else can hear. We don't hear much about other European countries because our diplomats in the African continent, they collect information, but the information is usually used by Western world. You don't hear us, you don't see much of the information coming back here. This country, South Africa, is the most powerful country. It could have been one of the countries manufacturing cell phones, manufacturing computers, manufacturing cars, and inventing things and helping the young people and the youth of this country and continent to go further and to develop. The intelligence, the foreign affairs, the diplomats of this country could have been very helpful to the youth that are unemployed in this country. And now you find that our reports are being used by other countries. And because now we have interacted with them, with the intelligence, with everything else, they're everywhere. Now they're criticizing the president, Zuma, on his policies, on the Dalai Lama, the issue. This country is a sovereign country, it's an independent country, it can make its own decision, it's got its own constitution, but it's not right for a diplomat to criticize the president on his policies when the president doesn't do that to their own country. Now, my message to the president, to Zuma, to his country, to South Africans is, if you have diplomats in other countries, could you please let them collect information that can help the young people that are unemployed in this country, so that we are equal, so that we can be able, every person can be able to afford the food, can afford the car, can afford the education. Instead of just funding these kids, these university students, funding them, giving them NFS, and then after that, after they get the job, they must pay back. Let's help this continent, let's help this country, let's help South Africa, and let's not let the diplomats to criticize our president, because this is an independent country, it's a sovereign country. We need to protect it, and the president is there to uphold the constitution of this country and to protect us in everything.